Shootings make headlines every day in our city, unfortunately. And now there's a new study out of Northwestern University looking at how community-based programs can work to reduce violent crime. The study does a few things, but it follows a group of men participating in a Chicago's CRED, or Create Real Economic Destiny program. It found a steep drop in arrest for violent crime among its participants. So to dig deeper into the study and the impact of CRED, the program I just mentioned, we're joined by two men here. First, lead researcher and the director of Northwestern Center for Neighborhood Engaged Research and Science, or Corners, Professor Andrew Papachristos. Good morning. As well as Louis Lockett, who is a Chicago CRED participant. Thank you both for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Professor, let's start with you. You've done a lot of work about gun violence, but what's different about this study? Anything new that you want to share with us?
Yeah, there are a couple things new. I'll be very brief, of course. So the first is that this study is one of the first to really look at the impact on individuals who participate in the program, including those who finish. So most often we just look at like citywide statistics or neighborhood-wide statistics, but these programs reach only a small number of individuals. And what we found was a pretty dramatic 73% less decrease in likelihood of arrest for violent crime when folks finished the program and we followed them. The second thing that's unique, in addition to sort of this quasi-experimental aspect, was the engaged aspect of the research. We partnered with CRED to build this project. We followed a cohort of these young men and interviewed them. Our teams were present. We talked about the data. We looked at the information. We built the thing together, which really helps us not only see and understand sort of numbers, but also the impact and how to interpret it and what that's going to mean, not just for practice, but also policy and the workforce that's out there doing this type of work.
All right, and you mentioned some of the statistics that this study gives about CRED, but we know that the first-hand accounts are really powerful as well. Like you said, it focuses on the individual. So, Louis, what has your experience been like participating in CRED?
My experience has been like after school matters for those who trying to stay out of trouble, and then had criminal histories and stuff like that. It's like an outlook on like being yourself and finding out what you want to do without being involved with the negativity that's going on around you.
Yeah, that's so good to hear from you on this, because again, statistics can only tell one side of the story. Professor, is anything else about CRED, and Louis, you can jump in too on this, that you found out how it's helped as far as the individual impact and then reducing crime?
Louis, you want to go first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think that one of the most important things that we've really started to understand is what happens as people journey through these types of programs, right? How do their lives change? How do they disengage? What are they trying to do with themselves? The bottom line is folks that finish these sorts of things have much better trajectories. They're not picking up guns anymore. They're not sort of engaging in the sorts of disputes and things that lead to sort of larger episodes of gun violence. And there are limits to that, which is how big these programs are, how many people they reach. But again, being able to understand that gets us a certain direction that the city needs to go.
And Louis, what would you say to someone who might be maybe thinking, I don't know if I want to be part of a program like this? I know there's a lot of apprehension, a lot of, not knowing what this could really do. What would you say to someone that's a little bit scared?
Give it a try. Really give it a try, because I was walking on eggshells joining Chicago CRED, and it was like I didn't want to do it at first because I didn't know exactly what was their mission. Mm-hmm. But as I got more deep into involved and started really being active, I love Chicago CRED. They really helped me save my life. People that shared their experience with me out of state, so I was thankful for that. I met some good people. I networked good. I've been working, staying out of trouble. Chicago CRED, I really think it's something that we really need, and people really need to take it serious because it's helpful. It's really helpful, 100% helpful, and I'm thankful to be involved.
Louis, thank you for that. I appreciate your vulnerability and sharing part of your story. Professor Papachristos, last thing, twofold question here before we go. What is the #1 takeaway of this? And on the flip side, what is not yet answered by the research? What do you guys still want to figure out?
Yeah, the number one takeaway is that we're starting to see evidence that these sorts of programs can have a really profound impact on participants' lives. They can change behaviors. Lewis was just talking about that. The flip side is these programs are small in scale and they're not designed to change entire neighborhoods. So lots of people that participate are changing their behaviors, and yet the rest of the kind of community is still not experiencing the sorts of benefits, right? CRED is not there to reduce or eliminate a century plus of segregation or poverty. And so the thing that we still need to understand is how these programs need to be integrated and work with other broader public and community safety efforts.
All right, Professor Andrew Papachristos from Northwestern University, also Chicago CRED participant Lewis Lockett. Thank you both so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.